Hey everyone, it's Erin from the Painted Tin Bin. How are you? Tonight we are going to create this super cute 12-inch watermelon slice. So this is, if you're watching this video, that probably means you are creating this awesome metal cuteness shape with the Innovation Autism program, since they did a fundraiser, but maybe not. Maybe this is in the future and you just bought it because you wanted to do it, which is fine. So we are going to go through all of the items that you will need. So most everything came in your kit. There's a few things that are from around the house that you may need. So first couple things that I would like to highlight. You will notice I'm in the polka dot heaven of the Painted Tin Bin workshop. I have some craft paper on my tables. So you do need to protect your table, your work surface, because this is exterior latex paint, Sherwin-Williams exterior latex paint. So it will stay. No matter where it goes. So you could get a couple layers of newspapers, a magazine. If the kits were shipped to you, you could unfold the pizza box and just kind of have a nice surface there. If you picked it up in the bag, you can kind of flatten the bag and use the bag. It's a little small, but you could still make it work. If you have some plastic tablecloths around the house left over from a birthday party, like something like that, you can absolutely do that. So make sure you protect your workspace. And then also protect your clothing. So I'm wearing a group I belong to, and you can kind of see I have some paint all over my t-shirt. So this, like I said, Sherwin-Williams exterior latex paint, it's not going anywhere. It's staying in your clothes. So same thing kind of goes if you have some really nice clothes on. I would go change it out right now. Sorry about that. I need a little more caffeine tonight. And then my paint, so your paint comes in little bottles, but here in the workshop, I obviously have these little cups for my paint. So you may want to go get a paper plate, maybe a swatch of aluminum foil to kind of act as a plate, so that you can kind of put a little bit of the paint out and then use it. And then, you don't have to like take the paint out of the bottle onto the thing, that kind of thing. That would get really messy. So paper towels, always good to have on hand. And then you may need a hair dryer. I forgot to get mine, so at some point in this video I'm going to go grab it right there, over there. You don't have to have it, so using a hair dryer helps the paint dry quickly. So if you do not have the patience to watch paint dry, or if you're kind of in a hurry, you want to get it done, go grab a hair dryer that has a cool setting. But you don't have to. If you want to, you can play a little bit of this video, complete a step, go walk away, come back in 20 minutes, that kind of thing. So it does go pretty quickly. These shapes are pretty short and sweet. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's talk about what's in your kit. So first thing is your metal shape of a cute watermelon. Sorry, did you see that? Wow. It's Friday night, y'all. My brain's fried. So it is already primed for you. So we're ready to rock and roll there. So just a little bit about your shape. It is galvanized steel, so please be mindful that it may be sharp on some edges, although I think we kind of ground them down as best we can. But since it is galvanized steel, that means it will not rust in your lifetime, your child's lifetime, or your grandchild's lifetime. So it's going to be around for a while, which is amazing, because I don't know about you, but I was tired of buying a new door hanger or new decor like every year, because it would get, Mother Nature would get some rain on it and it's done. So it's not going anywhere. Metal, check. So we have paint, and I'm going to kind of go through the paint colors that we have with this super cute shape. So we obviously have pink. We have, and that's for the flesh of the fruit, we have lime and green for the rind. And then you do have just a little skosh of, that's a very technical term, of black and white, okay, for some accents and some highlights. So that is that. You do have a really cute, you have Hello Summer. So you will notice that there's like this transfer tape on it First off, don't take it off until we get to that point. So what I would suggest that you do, and more than likely what I did is I put it on the back of the card. So your card is just a little thank you card saying thank you for supporting local and supporting handmade. And it also has our hashtags on it, 2 of the 3 that we use. So hashtag painted tin bin, hashtag metal cuteness, and then our newest one, which is hashtag door selfie. So even though you are creating with us, you're not creating with us in person like we normally do. So take a picture, once your shape is done, take a picture, hang it on the door, and send us that. Oh, you can tag us in it. You can use the hashtags. But so that's just a little thank you card from me to you. And then also, so back to the wording, you can leave it on there. And once we get to that point, I'll kind of walk you through how to apply this vinyl saying hello summer. This is exterior wear vinyl. It's rated for 5 years wear. So I guarantee you this isn't going anywhere for a long time too. Everything we're using is as durable as possible, since obviously the point of having a cute door is that it's going to be outside, so it's going to be exposed to the elements. So we also have some polka dots. We have baby ones, and then we have some kind of medium-sized ones. Again, same kind of vinyl, exterior wear. We have paint brushes, so you got a chunk of sponge brushes and a chunk, or not a chunk, or 1 or 2 detail brushes. And then you have a wire hanger, and then a really cute bow. It'll be great. So that is everything that should be in your kit. Couple other things. You do not have to do yours the way I do mine. That's the greatness of all this. So our motto is perfectly imperfect creativity. So 1, it doesn't have to be perfect. It shouldn't be perfect. And 2, it doesn't have to look like mine. It can look any different way you want. You can use other paints. If you are a crafty person and you have paints at home, you absolutely can use your own paints. Just a word to the wise, acrylic paints are not weather durable, okay? So they may last for a little bit, but eventually the paint will start to kind of flake and crack and come off. So that's why we use the exterior latex paint. But you are more than welcome to use any kind of acrylic paint that you may have at your home. And yeah, so we're just gonna get started. I'm gonna take you through some pretty simple steps on how to create this in a very easy manner that will look very close to the picture that was in the pictures on the Facebooks. Okay, so in order to do that, we're gonna grab our line and we're gonna grab a sponge brush. And what we're gonna do now, I live dangerously. I like to run with scissors, people. This is why it's our group motto. I'm not going to stencil. I'm not going to be very exact in a lot of things, but if you are the type of person who would like to have an exact 2-inch rind around it, you can always go grab a pencil and a ruler and measure, and you can do that. But I'm telling you, you don't have to do that, okay? So I'm gonna load up my brush. So one of the things about these sponge brushes is that there is a angled piece. You can kind of see there. Use that to your advantage a lot, okay? So what we're gonna do is I am going to, let me situate this. I'm gonna start up here by the hanger hole. I'm literally just gonna put it down. I loaded it up full all the way across, and I'm just gonna go as far as my paint will take me, okay? And it's just one width of the width of the brush. Okay, so you see I loaded the whole brush up, and I'm just gonna go all the way around. That's kind of a thick rind. If you don't like it, make it half of it. You know, whatever floats your boat, y'all. So I'm gonna keep going around. I just keep one edge of the brush on the edge of the metal, and then I just keep going. The other thing is that we're gonna keep our coat of paint thin to assist us in drying as quickly as possible without sitting here watching paint dry for too long. So not a lot of paint is used. You will not use the whole, sorry, did you notice that I was kind of concentrating there? Stop talking. You will not use the whole little bottle of paint. and you are more than welcome to use that on other projects that you would so choose. You know, I just like to ensure that we get you enough paint for whatever way you want to design your metal cuteness. So, all right, so I am all the way around. It by no means is even perfect. No big deal. The other thing I'd like to do, you do not have to load up your brush on this one, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you what to do. You will want to just kind of do a quick swipe around on the edge, okay? Since the shape is primed white, you know, especially the edges sometimes pick up some white, and it'll just show up. So it's not a requirement, you don't have to do it, but I'm just saying some people like to do it, okay? So let me grab my hair dryer and I'm gonna talk you through some details about the hair dryer, okay? 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. So one thing I forgot when I was setting up. Okay, so basic old hair dryer, same one you use in the morning. But the most important thing to keep in mind is that you must use it on the cool setting. So on these fabulous Dollar General versions, they have a blue button. I have to hold it in for the air to be cool. The reason why it has to be cool air is this. If you use hot air, when you apply hot air to metal, the metal gets really warm really quickly and it expands. Then the paint can't really grab onto the metal and stick to it because the metal's moving, okay? It's expanding, it's contracting, things like that. So then if the paint can't stick to anything, then it's just gonna come off eventually. By using the cool air, you do not heat up the metal, so then, you know, it's not expanding and everything can kind of adhere to it. So this is a way to speed up the drying process. Again, it is in no way a requirement. It just kind of speeds up not only the drying, but the whole process in general. And for the sake of this video, I typically use them just so that one, we can talk our way through it, but two, so that this video doesn't go on forever and ever, amen. Most people don't like to hear me talk forever and ever, amen. Ask my former students. So typically what I do, just because I am aware that the sound of a hairdryer can be like nails on a chalkboard to some people, I will kind of do this little motion, and that is when I am going to start up the hairdryer. When I'm done, I'll typically wave, and then I'll wait a second for you to come back. So you are more than welcome to mute the video while, you know, when I give this motion, so that you can kind of see what I do. Afterwards, I'm going to talk about some things that you're going to see that I'm going to do while I am drying this. So, all right. Uh-oh. Okay, sorry about that delay there. So a couple things that you saw me do. You saw me kind of do one of these things, because when it is dry, you obviously won't get any paint on your fingers. So if I were to rub it around along this ridge, because I purposely left it wet, you're gonna see that I got some paint on my fingers. It also can just kind of sometimes look like that. So if you can see that. And that just means maybe just about 10 more seconds in that area and then it could be dry. The other thing you saw me do was kind of do one of these things where I kind of like was looking at it. What it is in the light, so you can see right here, there's a little section that's shiny and everything else is not as shiny. That tells me this little section right here is still slightly wet. Okay, so shiny is wet. But that piece will be okay. It's almost dry anyway. So, and it needs to be dry the whole way around or the whole section or whatever the case may be before you can move on to your second coat of paint. Okay. So, let's go ahead. And again, keeping your coats of paint thin allows for quicker drying times as well. Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and do this. The other thing to keep in mind is that typically when you are like painting a wall in your home or something, you, if there's a ridge of paint that you just kind of accidentally load up a certain area and that you get like a bubble of paint, and it's really thick, the drywall in most instances will kind of smooth that out by kind of, absorbing some of that extra paint. This is metal, so it does not have the opportunity to absorb paint. So if you leave a ridge of a glob of paint on your shape while you're drying it thinking, oh, it'll just kind of flatten itself out. No, it's gonna be there, okay? So again, thin coats of paint, that'll cut down on drying time. It'll also cut down on the opportunity for globs to show up, and just do some really, just make it a lot easier on yourself. So this second coat, again, thin. I'm gonna also do just a really quick swipe of this too. Thin coat for your second coat, and it doesn't have to be perfect. So we're gonna add a lot of detail here. We're going to add some more color. So the fact that, my rind is a little bumpy, it's not a big deal. And if I went over from where I was before, it's still no big deal. Everything we can come back from, and you can just, if you make a mistake, honestly, the best bet is to let it dry, make it dry, either use a hair dryer or just let it dry naturally, and then you can paint over it. I mean, that's the glory of paint. So it's kind of the opposite mentality of having a pencil and an eraser. So this is what we got. We got this weird looking lime taco thing. Taco Tuesday, potentially. So, we could use the hair dryer right now to dry that. You can absolutely at home. I'm going to go on to the next step and talk about it. Now, you do have enough sponge brushes for each of your colors, and so you don't need to rinse them out. However, these paint brushes, as long as the paint doesn't dry on them, you can rinse these out and use them for other crafts. It also goes for your skinny brush, okay? So, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my pink. I'm ready to kind of go crazy with it and do the center. And, this shape is pretty straightforward. I'm like, what colors go where. I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about like why lime and why green, but it'll make sense once I show you. But again, I'm using this angle part of my brush to really get in close as possible to the lime. Now, my lime is wet, but yours may not be. But again, it's not perfect. I'm going to show you some ways that you can hide that very easily and it'll turn out super cute, okay? So we're just gonna, and I like to work on the edge first and then fill in. Just my personal preference. You do not have to do it that way. You also do not, like I said earlier, do not have to make yours look like mine. It's your metal cuteness. You can make it look however you want. So, and again, keeping the coat of paint thin, that may mean you may have a lot of paint on your brush as you go around the rind, which is fine, because then that can kind of help you travel farther. But you can then kind of go in like this, okay? Just kind of take some of that paint into the center of the watermelon, okay? So got really quiet there. That's what happens. If you're a teacher or you work with kids, like, you know, Laura and many of you probably do, you know that when things get quiet, it's one of two things. One, they're trying really hard and concentrating on the task at hand. They're trying to do their best work. Or the complete opposite. They're getting into trouble. So that's always the fun part. So let me get a little more pink in here. And again, this coat of paint this first coat of paint is gonna be thin. You're gonna see some of that white primer coming through. That is okay. We prefer to see that. And again, just like we did with the lime, you can do the edge, you know, so around in this bite and on the edge up here, okay? All right. So I am going to use the hair dryer right now. Again, I got a bigger space to kind of dry. My lime is almost dry. There's a couple spots that are really dry, but I got some more. But before I do that, I do want to show you up close how you can see some of the white coming through. That's okay. We are always going to do at least 2 coats of paint for each section. So that stripiness, that primer coming through, it will go away on the second coat. So, all right. I'm going to go ahead and use the hair dryer. I'll see you in a minute. All right, okay, oops, sorry, you got a little crooked there, I apologize for that. So, here you may be able to see a little bit better, so see how there's some white streaks in there. You can also see some little spots that are still a little bit wet, but by the time I get done talking, it'll be dry. There was something else. Oh, so the other thing is, depending on how forceful your hairdryer is, it may kind of, the air may get under this. So that's why I was kind of just keeping my finger over here while I was using the hairdryer. So just kind of keep that in mind too. So let's go ahead and do our second coat of pink. Now I'm going to tell you that my first coat of pink, I went all crazy directions. Typically I tell people for your first coat, commit to either right or left or up or down, one of the two. It's not a requirement. You don't have to. And then coat number 2, you would do the opposite. So for example, if my first coat, I went strictly up and down, Then my second coat, I'd go right to left. Now, this is a little different because this shape, you know, I kind of went around and then I just filled in. So, but go ahead and load up your brush. And again, your second coat, you can kind of just go a little bit crazy. Typically your edge, if you kind of did what I did, where you just kind of went around like this towards the rind, you know, that's area that's closest to the rind. It has plenty of paint and it's already good to go. So you may just be able to get away with just kind of some quick swipes here in the center, like I can. But so like I was saying, we typically do we always do at least 2 coats of paint. That's for durability, and just kind of color, keeping, you know, having a good consistent color. You can, if you are choosing to do yours some other way. So I have lots of, I don't have lots, I have some design videos also on this YouTube channel where, you know, if you wanted to do a rustic looking watermelon, you absolutely could kind of see how to do a rustic paint technique, and then you could do that. So it's really kind of up to you how you want to do your shape. I'm doing it, this one, in just a very traditional, super cute kind of way that is pretty standard for, you know, summer. So so yeah, but this would probably be a good time also to dry and or to let the second coat of pink air dry, and I'm going to show you why. So I'm going to take my green, okay, and my other sponge brush. Now I'm going to kind of do something very wild and crazy here. I'm going to just kind of put a little bit of paint. So you see it's not much at all whatsoever. Actually, I'm going to put a touch more just because I can, okay? And what I'm going to do, how I choose to do the rind is I make green and lime stripes. And I literally just do it this way. That's the easiest way. Again, it is completely okay. So here, let me show you. That kind of got moved off the screen. My apologies. Okay, so I just came in here and just went whoop. We're good to go. Okay, now it is a little streaky. It is completely your call if you would like to keep it streaky or if you would not. So if you would not, then I would say you're probably going to do a second coat potentially. But, and then I kind of just eyeball it. You could be, I'm sorry. I eyeball the space in between so I could do the next one. You could measure if you really got excited about it. If you haven't gathered by now, nope, not my jam. But if that's your jam, that's totally fine. Okay, so you see, I'm just creating that rind. So our watermelon rinds are typically, you know, they're striated or striped, if you will. Striated. That's a very fancy word, especially for someone at night who's worked 40 hours this week. So this is just kind of a really easy way to kind of achieve that effect. And I'm going to show you a bunch of different ways that you can kind of jazz this up if you're kind of like looking at it like, are we going to do some more? So yeah, don't worry. So we got a lot of options for you on how to jazz up your shape, and I'll talk you through quite a variety of options. The other thing that I would suggest to you would be to check out some of the other design videos. Like I said, I was kind of highlighting earlier just a minute ago the rustic design video, but there's a couple others. So as you can see, I just lather, rinse, and repeat. I get a little bit of green, I make a stripe, and then there we go. Okay, so there we go. So cute. I mean, that was really easy, okay? So I'm gonna give this a minute to dry. So if you're not familiar with the Painted Tin Bin, we are here in Springfield, Illinois, the legendary home of Abraham Lincoln. I'm not originally from here. I am from Illinois, but this is where I've landed because of my teaching career. I am a recovering educator. That means I no longer am in the classroom. However, I'm still working in education. I do miss the kids. And, you know, my students, my former students are now adults, and I appreciate Facebook. So before I did not appreciate Facebook when, you know, they could find me, but I now appreciate Facebook because they can find me and they can message me and say, hey, how did we do those, whatever, you know. And there, I have one student every year, never fails. He will message me and say, hey, remember when you made us make pumpkin seed home ec, you know when you get the pumpkin seeds, you make the jack-o'-lantern, you put the pumpkin seeds on a cookie sheet. I made my students do that. And every year he messages me and wants to know, how do you do that again? So, because he recreates it with his daughter, which is, you know, is a good thing as an educator. I appreciate that. So sometimes you don't always know if it sinks in, but, you know, 10 years later it did. So, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about some detail options that you're going to have. I'm not going to use a lot of the detail options. I'm probably going to just kind of do my own thing. So the first thing you have is polka dots. I love polka dots. The only reason being, polka dots make people happy. Have you ever seen a sad polka dot? No. All right, so we have these medium size, and then we have these small size. And you can put these anywhere, all over, anyhow you like. They are, again, exterior vinyl, so 5 years exterior wear. They shouldn't go anywhere. The key is that your paint must be super dry when you put these on. So obviously, if you have a wet spot on your paint and you put a polka dot on top of it, it's not going to stick. And then it's going to come off, and then you're going to have a floppy polka dot, and then you're going to be sad. That's the only sad polka dot, a floppy polka dot, okay? So you can put these anywhere you like once the paint is fully dry. Some other things, if you would like to make polka dots out of any of the paint colors that came in your kit, the pink, the lime, the green, the black, the white, you know, one thing, actually I probably will do this, you can mix some of the paints. Okay, you could add some of this white to the pink and you could create a lighter pink. I might do that. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. And then you could do polka dots with that. And I'm going to show you how you could do that. So if you would like to do tiny polka dots, this is your version of the detail brush. Yours may look different. There. So you can just dip it in the paint, make a tiny polka dot, okay? You can kind of go back and forth. If you would like something a little larger, slightly larger, you can use the end of a foam brush, okay? So again, same concept, dip it lightly in the paint. The key with this is that you're gonna have a lot of paint on there, so you will probably be able to do 2 to 3 polka dots each time. So paint, dot, dot, paint, dot, dot, okay? But there you go, there's the medium size. And then if you really wanted a larger polka dot, I was gonna see if I had a piece of paper here. I'm gonna use this real quick. What you can do is you can use your foam brush to make a large polka dot. So dip it lightly in the paint, and if this is your shape, what you can do, lightly press it on and then make it do a ballerina turn. Okay, so typically you can get one, and it's not gonna be perfect, but that's okay. You can go back on coat number 2 and really do it. So again, ballerina turn, that will get you a larger polka dot, and it's pretty stupid cute. Saying. Okay, so those are 3 options on how you can make a polka dot differently than the sticker. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some detail in between the green and the lime, just because I just feel like I need a lot of polka dots. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I don't know, maybe I'll do more. I don't know. So that's the thing. I'm just going in right now and I'm just making 3 polka dots with the end on alternating sides of the rind. I'm going to see what it looks like. I thought I was going to go all the way across, but I'm kind of digging this 3 thing. Not really sure why. So just kind of keep going. All right, sorry about that. You could do black polka dots if you really wanted to. You don't have to do it the way I'm doing it right now. You don't have to have any polka dots. Excuse me. I'm gonna get a drink. So the design feature, once you have the green and the pink down, you know, how it looks from there is really kind of your call. If you wanted to do something like what I'm doing, you could also add some squiggles with your design, with your fine brush. You know, the thing I love about this is that pre-COVID, we did large scale events, and you know, we've had up to 150 people in a room doing a shape. And did I mess it up? No, I didn't. Okay. All 150 people had the same things. They all had the same paint colors. They all had the same tools. They all had, you know, the same shape, let's say. Sometimes they had different shapes, but you get what I'm saying here. They had the same materials. And wouldn't you know it, they all come out different. Some are a little brighter, some are a little more muted, and you know, that rustic look. So I just absolutely love it. So, you know, this is really based on your creativity. And if you do not have creativity, if you're not a creative person, I thank you for trying to be creative and doing this. Sometimes doing hard things is scary. And sometimes if you're not a creative person, being creative can be hard. So this is what I did. Okay, so I just kind of alternated the polka dots, top, bottom, you know, on either side of the green. Just gave it a little excitement, if you will. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and dry this here real quick. Now, if you do polka dots, again, like I was saying, whether it's with a skinny brush, if it's with this or this, not necessarily this, that's a lot of paint in a very concentrated area. So you do need to be mindful that you should allow those to dry for a long period of time, probably 20 minutes easily, or using the hair dryer, just because that way the paint gets dry all the way down. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to dry this real quick, and what I would like you to, and I'll do this, and I'll see you on the other side. So I wanted to kind of talk you through a little bit if you wanted to mix paint. So this is getting real fancy here. So you have a plate so you can combine, some pink and some white, or some green and some white, although that gives you lime, or black and white. So if you needed gray for something, I'm just going to do it kind of in my little cup here with white now that I'm done with my white. So I'm just going to add a little bit of pink first. Oops. See, this is what happened, folks. Get really excited. And the paint goes everywhere. This is a reminder. This is your public service announcement reminding you that you are using Sherwin-Williams exterior latex paint. It will stain permanently. So make sure you keep that in mind. And please know, I keep wiping my paint on my pants. I have painting pants on, so that's okay. So don't do that either. All right. So what you can do then, you can use the end of the skinny brush as kind of your spoon or your stirrer, and just kind of keep stirring that paint, adding pink, adding white, until you get the color that you really want. Depending on what you're going to do with it, you don't need a whole lot for this shape. So I think I'm going to go with this really nice pale pink. I kind of like that. I'm going to do some ballerina polka dots. The other thing, by the way, if you wanted really big polka dots, you could grab something like if you have a little cup like this at home, you could grab like a tape, a roll of clear tape, pull it out of the dispenser. You can trace it with the pencil, and then you can fill it in with this or the detail brush. It does take a little bit longer to do it that way, so just keep that in mind. But that is always an option for you. Like I said, you could have drawn the rind with a pencil as well. I just like to live dangerously. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna load up my paint. You can see how much I got. And again, just gonna do little pirouettes with my ballerina polka dots. So the key is to try and not move it. Keep it perfectly straight up and down. Sometimes that's really hard, but that's okay. That doesn't mean that it's not a polka dot. It just means it's gonna get bigger. So I'm gonna put a little polka dot here. I typically like to have at least one polka dot kind of go off the side. So let's see here. All right. So we are in the thick of, for those of you who are not local, we are in the thick of the humid summer rain season. Who knew that was a thing, right, in Illinois? But definitely needed the rain, so I'm sorry if you kind of hear the rain outside my workshop window. So that's what I did. Just something super cute, another set of polka dots, just add a little bit visual interest. Again, not something you have to do. I'm going to do a quick dry, and then I'm going to show you how to put your words on. I'll talk about the polka dots again in case you wanted to do the sticker polka dots, and then the bow and the hanger. Okay, so let me dry this real quick. Okay, so let's talk about these polka dots. You could absolutely keep putting on more polka dots. The more polka dots, the happier it is, right? Okay, So a couple things about this. They're just a peel and stick, just like, you know, when you were a kid and you had a sticker book and your parents gave it to you while you were in the car and you may or may not have put stickers all over the window. Just an example. But the other thing is once you stick, you must commit. That means once you stick the sticker on your shape, it's there, okay? These are not your average sticker where you can kind of peel it back, put it back on, that kind of thing. So it adds a little bit of fun to the once you stick, you must commit, but you'll be good to go. So I think the first thing I'm going to do to finish up my shape, and again, you can continue to add whatever details. I may add some watermelon seeds, and that's just like a teardrop, so you can kind of just do a little tiny teardrop kind of everywhere. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through how to do the hanger, the bow, and the Hello Summer for this, if you like it. Okay, so grab your metal, your galvanized steel, no, stainless steel wire, and this is a really cute shape because it kind of hangs a little crooked. So bring the edge with the hole towards you off the table, and you're going to need to grab either a pen with a little cap thingy on it that has the little pocket catcher. These are very technical terms, ladies and gentlemen. Or a pair of needle nose pliers, whichever you have at home. Honestly, the pen works just as well. I just happen to have these because I'm in my workshop. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your wire and you're going to come from the back to the front. And you're going to have, I would say, probably 1.5 inches. So there is this much wire. It's really hard to see on top. And what we do here at PTB is we just twist it. We make a tornado. We twist it about 2 to 3 times, and then you're done. And then you're going to lather, rinse, and repeat. You're going to do the same thing, but with the other end of the wire. Again, taking it up from the back to the front, and it is a little tense. You've already twisted one. You know, it's not very big. This is just your hanger. And again, same thing, lather, rinse, and repeat. Make your tornado, 1, 2, 3. I only did 1.5 with that one. And there you go. Now you can make yours as big or as small as you need it, but this is how, either this or yours might be a little more like this, how it's going to hang. Really cute, right? Okay. So the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna grab your bow, okay? So it has 2 legs, okay? It's like, I'm gonna walk away, all right? 1, 2, 1, 2. You're gonna put one leg, this is going from the top down, one leg through the hole, one leg over top. So it's gonna look like this, okay? So see how here's my 2 legs. Then you're going to twist them together, and then you can either cut them off or you can just smush it down. I just smushed it down, but typically I will cut them. So really cute here, okay? So if this is all you want to do, you absolutely can stop there. You can fluff and zhuzh your bow. That's a very technical term as well, ladies and gentlemen, zhuzh. You can notch it. So you know how sometimes you see like the little notches in the ribbon, you can cut it, that kind of thing. You don't need the ribbon, or you don't even have to have the bow. If you don't want the bow, don't put the bow on. That's the great thing about all of this. Go put it on a gift that you're gonna give someone, okay? It's super easy. Okay, now we're gonna talk about, oh, I know what I'm gonna use. Okay, now we're gonna talk about this. Your Hello Summer. So what I want you to do is, one, you will need a credit card. No, you're not gonna use it to buy anything. You're gonna use it as a scraper, okay? So go grab a credit card, a debit card, something of the like. They work really super well. Normally I have like really thick popsicle sticks. That's what I use, or in a pinch, if I forget them, I use my debit or credit card, okay? So what you're going to do, first off, I would like you to just take take the back, the whole thing off. So the transfer tape, the sticker, and then the back of the sticker. Take it all off the paper, okay? And then what I would like you to do is I would like you to just set it down, and you're gonna take a corner. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna slowly peel the transfer tape away in hopes that the sticker comes with it. Now, as you can see, my hello is not really coming. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put it back down, lay it flat. You're gonna rub it, not super hard, just kind of, again, with your credit card. And then you're gonna start again. You're gonna pull at a 45-degree angle. It doesn't matter which corner you take until you can pull all of the sticker off of the back of the sticky paper. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, same thing goes with this. Once you stick, you must commit. That's why we use this clear transfer tape, because you can be like, do I want it like this? Do I want it like this? There. And you can kind of see where it's going to be, okay? So the thing that I like to do when I'm doing it is I hold it up to see how it's going to hang. All right, it's going to hang like this. I'm going to set it like that, okay? So just so that I know that that's how it's going to hang. So sometimes if you don't do that, your words kind of look a little sideways. It happens. It's no big deal, okay? So, and then I'm going to put my sticker, I'm going to put it like right here, right down here. And all you have to do, first thing is just kind of push it down with your fingers. Then again, grab your credit card, rub it onto your metal. I like to do this one a little extra just so that I know that it's really stuck there. Other thing is, this had to all be super dry, okay? So if any of my pink polka dot was still wet, this is not gonna stick. The other thing is, the transfer tape is bigger than the sticker, so it's kind of coming over here, and it may pull off some of my white polka dots, okay? There are ways to fix those things, but that's why everything needs to be super dry before you attack this. Then, again, same thing, pull at a 45-degree angle your sticker, or your transfer tape, and go very slow. Now, if you find that your sticker is not, your words are not sticking to the metal, you just put it back down, put the transfer tape back down, rub it a little bit more, and then try again, okay? All right, success, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Summer. How cute is that? So, I thank you for your time tonight. Again, I hope you enjoyed doing this. We do offer paint kits for a variety of fundraisers across the nation. So if you're far, you can still work with us because we can just ship all the funness to you, the metal cuteness. But if you're local, you know, you've probably seen things around and you're kind of like, that's really cute. Wonder who did that? They did. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any concerns or questions about this, please don't hesitate to give me a call or email thepaintedtinbin@gmail.com. So we like to make sure that everyone has a great experience, and put it on your door and take a door selfie and tag us in it. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.